Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Holly. Today I'm going to be sharing a January kind of flip through of what I did in my bullet journal and then also my setup for February. So earlier this year I posted my 2019 Bujo setup on my channel. I'll try to leave that linked up in the corner. And I asked you guys in that video what kind of content you'd want to see for bullet journals, and a lot of you guys just said a monthly update would be great. So that is what this video is going to be. I'm going to kind of show you how everything turned out for January, what worked, what didn't work, and then what I've done to set up for the month of February. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here, you already saw this if you watched my 2019 flip through, but this was the setup I chose for my January monthly view. I am gonna skip all the intro stuff in my Bujo, by the way. I will probably go over that maybe on like a quarterly basis just to like update you guys on my goals or something, but not much has changed, let's be honest. Yeah, I really liked how this worked. I would say that this probably of all my spreads was more, is the most decorative of my spreads as opposed to functional. Like, I do write things in here, like, and I like having kind of like an overview of what I did during the month, but a lot of this stuff is more like events, and that goes in my Google Calendar. So I'm not really like referring to this necessarily, like certainly not on a daily basis, and sometimes I use it on a weekly basis, but I often just like double check my Google Calendar. So it's not like, this is not an essential part of my system. However, I did really like having the monthly tasks, and I really tried to ingrain in myself to be good about checking these on a weekly basis to kind of keep me on top of my goals. And you can see here, I actually accomplished a decent amount. January was kind of unique because I had 2 weeks off work because I was switching jobs. As you can see, I started a new job towards the end of the month. So it was, I actually had like a lot of time to make progress on this stuff, but it was nice to kind of have like a zone to refer to every week to kind of like make sure to like put some of these on my to-do list for every week. Okay, and then on to this page. So you see here, I did a January line of the day. By the way, you're gonna see this, not too much, but just anytime I have anything private in here, I just use some Post-its to cover it up. I am not technologically inclined enough to understand how to blur out my pages like I know some bullet journalers do. So just bear with me there, but they're just like, you know, everything can't be on the internet. So anyways, I really enjoyed doing this. It's like a nice way to do an overview of the day. If I had more detailed thoughts, I did do some journaling in my like daily view, but this was just like a nice way to try to summarize up the day and kind of look through the whole month. I do wish it was like a little neater, and like when I was reading it back to like look for this video, there are certain days that it's like, oh, I'd just be like, oh, I'm moody. And it's like, okay, well, what were you moody about? So I'm gonna like to be a little bit better about like documenting that for February. I kind of learned, like I wanna be able to actually look here and realize what I did. And then my habits, this worked so well. I mean, well, I didn't do all my habits. As you can see, meditation is like serious strugglesville for January, but this way to view my habits, I think it's just like a game changer for me. I vastly prefer this as opposed to the like long list way. This is just really functional for me, and yeah, I like having it like in a little color scheme, and like this one, I think I need to like reformat how I'm thinking of it, because this was like the one, it's called, like I call it no crap snacks, but like I don't really care if I eat dessert, so maybe I just need to reconceptualize how I think of it for February. But I am keeping all my habits the same for February otherwise, because these are things that I really want to focus on. And then I did have my fitness down here. You'll see in February I ended up doing a separate spread for this because this was just way too cramped, but I did have a pretty decent month fitness wise, which I was really happy about. Oh, and then that was it for the monthly for January. I added 1 or 2 things for February, so I'll show you that. But then here, I'll just kind of flip through the week so you can kind of see how everything turned out. I really found, I did this layout pretty much the entire month of January, and I found it super functional. It was just like you have your schedule here, weekly to-dos here, and then I had this box. Some weeks I didn't know what to do with it. The last week of the month I'm trying out using it as the next week zone, but I don't know if that's gonna work either. We'll see. Like I'll have the extra space if I need it each week, and I can just think about how to better use it. But yeah, this layout where I have the weekly to-dos, and this is often where I put those monthly tasks I was talking about. Like if I have a few that I want to focus on in a given week, I will put them here at the start of the week so that I know they need to get done, and then I can assign them to a specific day. So it's just kind of like a funnel of migration. So I've got tasks here that then go here, that then go into my daily. So just like kind of like a lot of repetition is like a key linchpin of my system, because I am forgetful and it's very easy for me to ignore like the to-dos I have, but it's seeing them like 4 times. It's like, okay, you really need to get it done. So yeah, this format really worked out. I tried to keep the kind of like very light decoration just in the color scheme that I had used in the monthly. I just kind of kept that consistent throughout the month, you'll see. And I said this in my 2019 overview, but I did pledge myself that I would stick to only black pens and the mild liner highlighters, because I just knew once I started adding stickers or all sorts of crazy colorful pens or washi that I would just it would be too much for me in terms of trying to keep it up. I'm trying to keep this super functional, so that worked out. So here I did have this time off mega list when I was off. I just wanted to have a couple of like a 1 page to kind of put all my tasks. Obviously I didn't get everything done, but it has been nice. I have referred back to it as kind of like a, what else was I trying to do? So that is useful. And then we have here just another week, and each week I was pretty much taking like 1 page for the overview and then about 3 pages for the daily stuff, just depending. But now that I'm at work, I'm taking up a little bit of space, a little bit less space, you'll see. So this was my last week off. Just had weekly to-dos here. I tried to do some lettering, Strugglesville, but yeah, I just like how like clean and airy it looks. I started adding these lines. I thought those were pretty functional just to divide up the day. And then here I have a non-weekly spread. This is actually a spread I did to keep track of my plants. So I have a lot of plants in my house and office, and just keeping track of how often they need to be watered or spritzed or what kind of light they need, because I had these little care cards, and I don't know, it's nicer to just have it all here. This is like one of my most decorative spreads I've done, so I was kind of happy with it. Like the up top ended up being a total disaster, but the little doodles I did for the plants actually look like the plants, and I did the little pots that are in here. I did those in the colors that they're actually in my like in my house. Like I have the pothos is in a teal plant, or in a teal pot, so that actually is helpful. So I do. Yeah, so just like a little doodly thing here to help me keep track. And now I want to get 3 more plants though to fill in the space, or 3 more types of plants. And then this was another functional spread. And again, whenever I do something like this in the middle of the month, I'm just gonna stick it up here in my index so that I can find it later. And then this is a idea I got actually from the YouTuber Amy Landino for her bullet journal setup for the year. She did a like when did her dog last type of spread, and I thought that was such a good idea, because I'm often like, oh, when did we go to the vet? And I have to go back on my calendar, but like for stuff like, you know, bathing her, or like if she pees, stuff like that, like I don't necessarily put it in my calendar. So it's nice to have one functional spread for that. And so I'm tracking like when does she go to the vet, getting her nails trimmed, getting her butt done. If you're a dog owner, you'll know what that's about. She has a sensitive stomach, so she does puke occasionally, really shed a lot, you know, beyond just like a normal little bit of a brush. Having a bath, she doesn't get baths a lot because she's short-haired, and just the way her coat works, she doesn't need a ton of baths. When her food gets delivered, that's really helpful because we use kind of the auto delivery from Chewy. Having an accident, luckily nothing there. It's been a while. And then dental stick, again, she was kind of on a special diet for a while, so we were not giving her a lot of dental sticks. And then next we have another week, and this is like something I'm trying to get used to, the idea that like you basically have like week, functional week, like that you just kind of stick this type of stuff in the middle of your other spreads. Like personally, I would much rather it be at the front of my planner, but obviously that's what your index is for. So like when I put my like when did Sarita last, I put the pages it's on here so I can like find it when I need it. When I transfer my notebook, I will probably put it at the front because this to me is more of like an annual tracking thing, as opposed to just like a single week. But, you know, that's kind of the idea of a bullet journal. You kind of stick these things that are functional for you wherever, you know, you need them. And then you put up, if you need to reference it again, you put it up in your index. So trying to stick to that. So yeah, anyways, this was a weekly, this was the week I started my new job, which has been going really well. I'm trying to figure out how I want to use my bullet journal for work stuff. I'm playing around with different stuff. To keep me focused, I like to have pretty granular to-dos for my work stuff, and I don't know that it like behooves me to do that in this notebook because I don't know. You know, I am working from home more, so ostensibly I could have this out on my desk and be referring to that, but I also might want to like, one thing I've been trying is just kind of like setting my priorities for work here in the morning and then looking at it like at the end of the day and kind of assessing how I did. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. I might do a separate work planner and then again, just like highlight the priorities here in the morning, or I might just start putting the granular stuff in here and just say, fuck it, like it's gonna take up a lot of pages, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. So then I did make a list of low priority work tasks, just like stuff that needs to get done. Then I also made myself a little list of areas to micro organize. And then I left this page blank because I thought I was gonna have like another mini list and I didn't want to start a new week on this side of the page, but now it's just like a blank page. So the next time I need to make like a random mini list, I need to put it here. And then we get into the last week, and this I kind of did like purple into pink because my color scheme for February is pink. I couldn't decide if I should do my monthly before or after the last week of January because it went into February, so I ended up doing it after. Yeah, so this is kind of the week we're currently on. So you can see like how that has been going. And again, I've just been kind of doing some work stuff in here, and then some of it has been more like on a separate piece of paper where I'm writing really granular stuff. So just trying to figure all that out. And then here's the day we're currently on, and then I'll put Sunday down here. And then we get into the February monthly view. And I will totally admit that this theme is 100% copied from Amanda Rach Lee. She's a bullet journal here on YouTuber. She's a bullet journaler here on YouTube. A lot of you guys recommended her in my 2019 video, and I already totally watched her. Like, I follow her and I really love her videos. So that was not a new recommendation because she's great. I think she's like probably the biggest bullet journaler here on YouTube. But anyway, she did this theme last year for February and I thought it was really cute. Mine is much less cute in implementation than hers is, with the kind of dropping hearts, because I'm just not as good of a doodler. But you know, it's cute and it was very easy for me to do because I cannot do like this year for February, she did like these gorgeous cherry blossom drawings. I'm like, yeah, I am not at that level. I don't really want to take the time to be at that level, to be honest. Honestly, this took a little bit more time than I really wanted, but it's very relaxing to do, so I didn't mind. But yeah, I'm not about to like do super intricate drawings every week. It's just not, it looks beautiful, but it's not that functional for me. So this is nice because it's like simple and I could do it pretty quickly. So again, same layout. I color code my kind of like categories. I have my monthly tasks here, which is again, very functional. So I am doing a February line a day again. Like I said, I really enjoyed that. I'm gonna try to write down more, even this, like I wrote down good happy hour. I should have said like good happy hour with my friends Sam and Christina. Like that would have been more descriptive. It's hard because it's literally one line and you try to summarize a whole day, but like I wanna get more specific. And then this is a new edition. It's called How Are You Spending Your Time? And this was inspired by a spread. Hold on, let me look her up. This was inspired by a spread from a person on Instagram, which is Crafty Engineered. And she is, I think her name's Hayden. But anyways, she works in a billable environment as well. And she has a 2019 spread that like tracks all her hours billed every week, which I thought was really great. But I decided instead I kind of like pivoted that to both track my billable hours and then the hours I work. So if you're unfamiliar, like I work in consulting, and basically in consulting, you have like a billable target you're trying to meet. Obviously I'm just ramping up to mine right now, given that I just started. But I'm going to track like how many hours I'm billing to the client and then overall how many hours I'm working every day. But then I also have a personal goal. One of my like quarterly goals is like looking less at my phone. So I thought I would start to track like the time on my phone. I don't have a specific goal for it, but I'm using I have an Android phone and I'm using the QuickTime app. Let me show you. Or Quality Time, not QuickTime. Quality Time app, and I like it because you can exclude certain apps. So I like exclude maps and I exclude the phone because like I use the phone for work and maps just for driving. But like I'm tracking how much time I'm spending on that. And then it also tracks how many times you unlock your phone, which is like the most alarming statistic because why am I looking at my phone 120 times a day? That's fucking terrifying. Yeah, so I'm gonna track those this month. Maybe in future months I'll set a goal for it, but I just thought it would be a good idea to get like a baseline. And it's almost like once you start to track something, you end up doing better at it. And then finally, we have hours slept. This will definitely be an estimate. I try really hard to actually not look at the clock right before I go to bed because I'll read for a bit and kind of wind down. And then if I look at the clock again, it amps me up and gets me all stressed out that I'm not gonna get enough sleep. And I'm not a great sleeper. Like this morning, like I didn't set an alarm and I just woke up at like 8:15 because I was just like done sleeping, even though I probably only got about 6.5 hours of sleep if we're being honest. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. And I don't trust my Fitbit to tell me when I went to sleep because it always tells me like later than it is. I really admire, like I think Llama Letters or Llama Loves Letters, Cindy does, like she tracks her actual time, which I think is so cool, or she at least has in the past, but I am not gonna be that granular with it. Like I know that about myself. These are things that's easy. I like these because it's pretty easy to figure them all out after the fact. So I don't have to be writing it down as I go. Like I can look in what I put in my time and expense. This stuff is tracked on my phone, and then this I can get kind of an idea of from Fitbit and then just kind of like extrapolate from there. So I like that I don't have to be, if I was tracking my time and writing it down as it happened, that would be hard for me. And then the final thing I set up for February, first up is a workouts page, and I just made a mini monthly calendar on one page so that I could write it down. I last month tracked it more as like what 5 workouts was I doing a week, but I like this better because I like to see kind of patterns and like, oh, you know, every Wednesday you end up skipping your workout, you know, something like that. So I think this will be useful. And then at the bottom of the month, I'm gonna kind of write a summary of like, you went to 10 yoga classes, 3 spin classes, whatever, and I'll write that down here. And then for February habits, I kept it pretty much the same format as last month. This just really worked for me. The only thing I did was I shifted it so it was a Monday start because I like to have my big calendars be a Monday start. So I decided to make the mini ones there too because I thought it'd be really confusing to have them on opposite pages. And then at the bottom here, I added some things that are not daily habits, but are instead more weekly things I wanna be doing. I wanna be doing a face mask, taking a bath, and doing my body brush, which like exfoliates my skin. Those are things I definitely have been slacking on in January, but I know I both like to do them because I enjoy doing them, and then also they do help like maintain my skin and my like, you know, this keeps my skin smooth. So I just want to try. I gave myself just 4 boxes so that I did 1 a week. That was my thought there. So that is it for February. I haven't set up next week yet. Maybe for next month, this is a note to myself that I will try to pre-set it up so that you can see what it looks like before I even like start a week and like what level of detail is there. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this pretty quick video, but I am really finding the bullet journal so functional for me right now. Still loving like memory keeping and like high level planning with my stickers, but in terms of the day-to-day, this has been my real workhorse and I am really loving it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know next if there's something more you'd like to see for this type of video next month. But yeah, that is it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.